And the wolf spider makes its first appearance in the UK for 40 years. Now, this is the wolf spider, a species thought to have been on the verge of extinction in the UK. Well, it has been spotted for the first time since 1985. Two were discovered by scientists on the Isle of Wight. Here's Georgina Ranard.
On a remote corner of the Isle of Wight, something has been lurking. Unseen in Britain for 40 years, a wolf spider, almost declared extinct, has been found by two scientists on a mission.
We had 4 hours to look for it. There was less than 9 minutes left on the clock, and I found the first immature within metres of where the jetty was.
Using a handheld vacuum like this, Graeme safely sucked up the tiny animals to identify them. On the National Trust's Newtown Nature Reserve, the scientists picked up not one, but two of the spiders, whose scientific name is Aulonia albimana. It's the time of year when you might see these scuttling about your home, the house spider, about the size of £5 coins. Next to that, the rediscovered wolf spider is tiny, but it's distinctive. With orange legs and white tufts, its nickname is white-knuckled wolf spider. Named for their hunting skills, most wolf spiders pounce like wolves. But this rediscovered one is different. It traps its prey in webs in the ground.
It's another little part of our fauna that we thought had gone, and to find it hasn't, is it's not just exciting, it's a chance.
It's a sign that even as nature faces serious threats in Britain, all is not lost. Georgina Ranard, BBC News.
The species of spider, which scientists thought was on the verge of extinction in Britain, has been spotted for the first time in 40 years.
That's what it looks like. Two critically endangered wolf spiders discovered on the Isle of Wight after hours of searching. Looks rather magnificent, doesn't it? We'll be speaking to one of the scientists who spotted them in around half an hour's time. Should we, do you think, put out a little warning of the big spider picture that we've just put on people's TV sets?
For some, yeah, but then you could say that for everything, couldn't you? There are phobias.
A lot of people worried about spiders. Carol, you worried about spiders? Where are you sitting?
Not a big fan. They're up there with Daddy Longlegs in my book. Just too leggy and small and hairy.
Daddy Longlegs are too leggy. That's an insight.
And spiders too. And hairy, and they move really fast as well.
They're very clever and very beautiful, Carol.
Well, I'm glad you think so, Naga. All God's creatures are beautiful, of course.
Yes. What do you got?
Swiftly moving on.
Now, for decades, it was thought to have vanished, but after 40 years, a critically endangered species of spider has been rediscovered by scientists in the UK.
This is the Aulonia albimana. I've got an expert sitting next to me who I hope is nodding about my pronunciation, otherwise known as the white-knuckled wolf spider. Because of its white markings, it hasn't been seen in this country since 1985. Recently, after hours of exploring, spotted on the Isle of Wight.
And one of the team responsible for finding it was entomologist Graeme Lyons, who joins us now. Charlie got 2 thumbs up, I saw.
Did I?
Yeah, that's a perfect pronunciation.
Can you say it again for us?
Aulonia albimana, but no one really knows how to pronounce them, so it's OK, whatever you say.
But the white-knuckled wolf spider sounds really cool.
Well, it's a name we gave it because the find was so exciting. So what I first should say is this was a collaboration with several other people. My friend Mark Telfer, he's a brilliant entomologist who lives on the Isle of Wight, and he's got a contract this year looking for various things, and he asked me to come along to help. It was the biggest long shot we've ever gone for. I really didn't think we'd find it.
So, Graeme, can you go through the basics for us? Set the scene. So you've got a specific place you're looking in, so geographically. Who's there? What equipment have you got? How do you try and find a spider? Because presumably they're just going about their business.
Yeah, well, it's the smallest wolf spider in Britain, so it's not a very big thing. And it was last seen on this military range in the northwest end of the Isle of Wight. So you can't get there very easily. And to be honest, the habitat is meant to have really scrubbed over. So Mark thought to look at this area at Newtown Harbour, an area managed by the National Trust, which is sort of on the end of this military area. And the only way we could get there was via a boat and getting a lift from the harbour master. And we got there with all of our equipment, and we're mainly using these days what we call a vacuum sampler, a suction sampler, which is, to be honest, it's just a leaf blower rigged up in the reverse, set to suck with a bag on the end. And then you suck up through the short grass, and then you empty the contents into a tray and pick through.
It doesn't hurt the spider?
No, absolutely not, absolutely not.
How big is it?
So it's the adults are about 3 or 4 millimetres, so it's tiny.
Oh, really small?
Yeah. It's tiny for a wolf spider particularly.
So when you're sifting through kind of foliage and, you know, dead leaves and grass and everything, it's got to be quite focused.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And especially with this thing, because there are a lot of wolf spiders. There's 40 species of wolf spider in the UK, and most of them are about, you know, half an inch long, and they're quite big and running around. And there were lots and lots of those in the field where we found this. And
how did you know? I know you know your spiders, but how did you know this was that one? Well,
it's tiny. It's the size of a money spider. And so, you know, my search image was to ignore all the big wolf spiders and look for this tiny, tiny little one with bright yellowy orange legs. The front segment and the front legs are black, and of course it's got this white segment to the palps, which I decided afterwards we should call it the white-knuckled wolf spider, because the way it all happened, in that we only had 4 hours on this sort of peninsula. Before the harbour master came to pick us up, and if we weren't there, we'd end up getting stuck if we weren't there on time. And so with 9 minutes to go, I found the first one, and with 1 minute to go, and I could hear the outboard coming, I found a second animal. And the great thing about that is two's a population, so we know there will be more there.
And I want to know more about the actual moment, Graeme. There's 2 of you searching. Did you see it first? And did you shout? Is there a sign that you give out that you've made a discovery?
Yeah, it was quite loud. I mean, originally I said, because I'd done my research and it was last seen in 1985, Madonna's Like a Virgin was in the charts that year, and I said, if I find it, I'm going to sing it. But to be honest, I forgot about that. So I just shouted my friend, who was just the other side of a hedge, and I've never seen him move so quickly. It was absolutely amazing.
So he scuttles over and he does the confirmation.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. You know, we got it in a little glass tube, and we're looking at it with hand lens. I mean, I'm still buzzing from it now. It's brilliant.
How important is it in terms of the ecology of this spider being there? What does it tell you?
Well, we know very little about what this particular spider needs in the UK, because so few people have seen it. But on the continent, it's a bit more common, and you know, people know it tends to like areas with a bit of sort of broken turf, a bare ground, short grass. Here, it was specifically found in an area the National Trust have been grazing with Hebridean sheep. They've been managing the scrub to keep it down. You know, species-rich grassland is a hard thing to keep going, and it's to the National Trust credit that they've done so well at keeping it open. And the amazing thing is, there's no reason. This is 2 kilometres from where it was last seen 40 years ago. There's no reason to believe at all that if you took a sort of radius of 2 kilometres around that original site, it's not within that entire area. So the next thing is, you know, we've got to get out there with our leaf blowers and try and see exactly where it is, because there could be loads of them out there.
I love hearing the account of how you found them, and who knows what else lies out there with your reverse leaf blower. It's like something from... It reminds me, it's a bit like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, isn't it? I've had that a few times, yeah. But I love it. Every time I turn that thing on, I find something amazing. It's brilliant.
Lovely to see you this morning. Thank you.
Graeme Lyons, congratulations.
Thank you very much.